Hello, McFluffy52 here, back with some more Outlaws of Thunder Junction action. Today we're playing a deck I'm calling Double Legends. I can't take credit for this deck because it actually is something I found on Untapped, but I thought it was very interesting and it made use of several new cards, and I think in very synergistic ways. So the new cards that we're kind of playing is Bristly Bill and Annie Joins Up. These are like the two outliers, but we're basically playing a Naya Legends list and using Annie Joins Up second ability that doubles up legendary triggers. So if a triggered ability of a creature you control triggers, that ability triggers an additional time. Annie Joins Up also deals 5 damage to a creature or planeswalker when it enters the battlefield, so it is also very nice removal. But you can see that we're playing a lot of the very powerful Naya legendaries. We have Anim Pakal, and this is one of my favorite cards to be playing around because making boatloads of gnomes and having this kind of spiral out of control is a lot of fun, but how we're going to help that is with cards like Bristly Bill. Bristly Bill is great in this deck because there's so many applications to like giving out these +1 counters, but Bristly Bill, 2 mana, 2/2, landfall, whenever land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1 counter on target creature. So if you put those counters on a Anim Pakal, next time you attack, you're going to make even more gnomes, which is pretty cool. Or you put those counters on something like Halana and Alena. At the beginning of your combat, put X +1 counters on target creature you control where X is Halana and Alena's power. So if you put a counter on Halana and Alena is then going to put 3 counters on a creature at the beginning of your combat, which is very nice. You double this up with Annie Joins Up. You can see how this would get pretty wild. You have Agrus Kos, which is a double striking 2/4. So you put a counter on it. Well, now it's a 3/5 double striking. That's pretty crazy. And if you double up Agrus Kos's ability, it says whenever it enters the battlefield or attacks, choose up to 1 target creature. If it is suspected, exile it. Otherwise, suspect it. So if you double this up, you can just, whenever you attack, exile one of the opponent's creatures because you can suspect it and then you can have it become exiled. You can also give your creatures menace, which is what suspected does. It gives menace and can't block, so you can just remove blockers, you can completely exile them, and you can give your creatures menace, which is pretty crazy. So that's kind of the idea of the deck. We also have Jeru and Hazaret, which is a card that I haven't seen get played much, but I think it's really cool in this deck because it's a card that cares about legendary creatures, and whenever it attacks, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may exile a legendary creature card from among them, put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order, and then until end of turn, you may cast that exiled card without paying its mana cost. Also, gets Vigilance and Haste if we have 1 or fewer cards in our hand. So if you have nothing in our hand, this thing is swinging in immediately and getting us a free legendary creature card, which is super cool. We also have really good lands for this kind of deck, but anyways, I think this deck is super cool. I saw it on Untapped. It has a 53.8% win rate over 410 matches, so that's actually pretty good, all things considered. I'm interested to see what you can do with this deck in terms of like making changes or other kind of legendary decks that you can brew up. Thanks to the fact we have Plaza of Heroes and cards like Cavern of Souls, we can get a lot of multicolored lands for these kind of decks. And so I just put some honorable mentions in terms of things that might help with the deck. So Thalia, there's a lot of those prowess, slick shot, show off type decks. Well, if they have to pay 1 more to cast every single spell, Thalia will help out in some regard. Granted, they might just use 1 spell to kill Thalia and then continue, but if they're all in on combat tricks, and they don't have any like targeted removal, Thalia could stop a lot of things there. Squee, just because I thought it was very similar to like Adeline. You play it, you attack in, you get 2 attacking goblins because it double triggers, which is cool. Danitha, I put this one in here just because start putting counters on it, it's pretty nice, but mainly because it says lifelink. One thing I think that this deck will struggle with is the fact that aggro decks that can really just whittle down the life total before we can really snowball our legends together, which is, I think, a problem. So Danitha being able to give lifelink, and we could easily slot it into this deck because it fits in the colors, might actually be quite good in the deck. Muriel, This is another card that if you double up its triggers, it can go pretty crazy, because it cares about the number of soldiers whenever you attack. So whenever you attack, create X soldiers, where X is the number of soldiers you control. So we do have some soldiers in the deck, like Anim Pakal. I think this is a soldier as well. That's a knight. So we have some soldiers, so we could get the first trigger will make maybe like 2 soldiers. Mural counts herself, and then the second trigger is going to count those tokens you just made. So you quickly double up your soldiers, and you get a bunch of these kind of like chump blockers, which is pretty cool. Also made me think about Rakdos joins up. So what if we went Legends, but we went Rakdos Legends, because we have Annie joins up, which is really good for Legends in Naya colors. What if we went like Mardu Legends and played Rakdos joins up, and now we don't even care if our creatures die or if they sit there and just be blockers, because whenever a legendary creature control dies, it deals damage equal to that creature's power to target opponent. So maybe you could play a more low to the ground Legends deck and get away with this. We played some Rakdos the other day, and we played one copy of Rakdos joins up. It actually won us, I think, several games in a way. So the card is pretty cool, and maybe there's some opportunities there. Thinking about really good 5-drops, Aurelia, the Law Above, came to mind, because just swinging with a haster on turn 5 is really what you kind of want to be doing. You want to be getting in damage as fast as possible, because we're really just looking to curve out and overwhelm our opponent and like snowball value. So Aurelia seems really good for that. And we could often probably trigger the first ability, which says whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card, because Anim Pakal and Alena are going to be making tokens, so we could probably get that card draw, I would think. And then if you double that up with something like the Annie joins up, drawing 2 cards sounds pretty nice. And then it also has the whole lightning helix your opponent whenever a player attacks with 5 or more creatures. Doubling that up also sounds pretty crazy. Again, I put this one in here just because lifelink, and it makes 2 bodies, so 5 mana, 3/2 lifelink, and when it enters the battlefield, make a 5/5 legendary creature wolf token with trample. And then whenever a wolf you control attacks, if Selesnya attacked this combat, you can have opponent control kind of what creature blocks that wolf, which is cool and could help in some situations. So that's just kind of some ideas. Let's go ahead and hop into the games and see how we can do with the deck. Okay, I think this hand is a keep because we had some 2-drops. I forgot about Animus. To mention Animus Might, card is really good for green based legend decks, because it's just 1 mana, pretty much remove anything. Okay, human. So they could be playing Naya. Bro, I ran into run into several Naya legend decks, it feels like, on the ladder. Not having a land here kind of is sad. I put Kellen out here just because potentially draws cards. I didn't really know if I wanted to run out anything else here. Alright, put this on humans, since most of our deck is humans. And Plaza of Heroes does help us cast. Annie joins up is important to note. Put Melira down just as we can protect our things, and I'm actually going to go ahead and kill the Evangelist just so they can't kill our Helen joins up. So I think our opponent here is playing a oh, it's going to enter tap, so I don't really want it, to be honest. I think they're playing a Boros Convoke deck. They just had a really slow start, maybe? Or maybe they're playing a Boros token deck. If you enjoy watching Magic the Gathering videos, consider subscribing. This is just my reminder. Alright. Now they're Sanguine Evangelist. These Sanguine Evangelists are so annoying. They make those bats. That is unfortunate for us. Yeah, this is looking like a Convoke deck. Just somehow, some reason they kept one of the worst hands imaginable, I guess. I don't know. Knight Errant of Use. I kind of want to blow that up. Because if I attack in, I get to draw 2 potentially. So we'll do this. We do lose a life, but... I think we only attack in with Kellen. We can use Melira as a blocker against the Sanguine Evangelist potentially. Yeah, we don't need another land at this point. Nor do we need another land. My goodness. I love Kellen for drawing cards, but we've whiffed pretty hard here. I'll read Kellen out. It's basically, look at the top card of your library. If it's a creature with mana value 3 or less, put it in your hand. Otherwise, put it in your graveyard. I think the majority of this deck is 3 mana or less, but if it's not, maybe Kellen is one of the cards that should be considered being cut. I personally like playing Anim Pakal with, that is disgusting. We don't mind losing Kellen. We have much higher priorities for our other creatures. They could swing in with a Sanguine Evangelist, or they could swing in with all their bats. If they swing in all their bats, they can block our Melira next turn, which would be less optimal for us, but kind of hoping they just go for max damage and swing with the Evangelist, and then we can block with the Melira. But we really need to start the Anim Pakal Snowball. Yeah, they do go in with the Evangelist. No, alright, that's actually upsetting. A land off the top would actually be pretty good, because then we could play Hadyar. Give our legendaries indestructible. It's not a land, but we can play it out and then play Anim Pakal. It's got haste. Right. Go, Melira, go. I'm sending you to your death, but it is what it is. But what I was trying to say earlier, and I think I forgot, I think something that could help the deck is playing some of the Luminarch veterans that gain a life when a creature enters the battlefield, so that if you start going off with a Nim, you start gaining a bunch of life, or if you start going off with yeah, we kind of want this Evangelist to die, even if it makes a bat. Them getting a 1/1 pump across the entire board sounds bad. But if they kill our Anim here, this game is pretty rough then. So we need a way to pump up our Anim Pakal this turn. Boros Convoke doing Boros Convoke things. Nah, yeah. Alright, GG's. Go next. Alright. I have to say, this deck, I have not had a good experience with it so far. I'm hoping that we'll figure out how to play it and start going, things will start going well, but so far for me, this deck not been performing. Clearly the stats say it's alright. 53% over 410 matches. That's a fairly large sample size, so I think we're getting a bit unlucky here. But, you know, 50% win rate, close to 50% win rate means there's going to be a lot of coin flips. Ooh. I feel like I need to put this on human, but I kind of want to play this Bristly Bill eventually. What is just a plant druid? Oh, okay. Well, where is human? Where's human? Get out there, Kellen. No Greenlands is really kind of a pain with these Animus Smites. I'm wondering if it would be better to play like Elspeth Smite. Swap some out for Elspeth Smites, which are like 1 mana, deal 3 damage to target attacking or blocking creature. So the mana base seems a little bit white-red heavy, less green. Let me see. There's 1, 2, 3. No, not really gonna block. I mean, we'll probably die, but such is life. Oh, great. That is kind of what we were hoping for. Trying to mitigate some of this damage. Ruby is nice, 'cause that is a human, and we can play it out. That should fix some of our mana. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now there's actually a lot of green sources. We just kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus 4, 10 green sources in the deck. There's 25 lands in the deck. I didn't even notice that. I guess it's because you can discard them to Inti. That might be part of it. I could play out the Bristly Bill. Agrus Kos sounds like we need to get it going. But I could also just kill it with this. Maybe we play Agrus Kos and then we Animus Might. Or we play Halana and Alena and we Animus Might. I think that sounds good. Four damage, put counters on Kellen. I think we still are swinging. Yeah, we can put that in our graveyard. I think we're good at this point for lands. How many 3-drop creatures do we have? 8 plus... Or 8, 3 or less, my bad. Let me be clear what I'm saying. 10, 11, 12 plus... It's 23 3 or less creatures, so... Seems like reasonable odds for Kellen, I guess. 23 out of our 60 cards are a hit for Kellen. We can give this Agrus Kos haste with Halana and Alena. They can't kill us this turn unless they play a land. I think. Actually, let me eat my words and shut up. I think if they have like 2 pump spells, they kill us, but if they... Interesting. If they have 1 more pump spell, like a Monstrous Rage, would that kill us? I think that's absolutely, right? Monstrous Rage is +3, they get +2 from the... Actually, no, they wouldn't kill us. So I think we can just go ahead and no box. I mean, if they have like a land and a, yeah, 10. If they had like a land and a, hold on, sorry, I'm thinking, alright? That should be lethal. Fine, I kind of want that card. So the game should be over, hopefully. Hopefully, I didn't just go down to 1 against a mono red deck to draw my next card. Okay. Also, I miscounted the lands. There was another green source untapped for some reason, shows it on 2 rows. I think this is a keep. Daza. Oh, I should have played a forest and then explored with Kellen. My bad. Or ventured. My bad. I don't think a map token is going to make much of a difference, but if it does, it's my fault. Oh. Combo deck. Interesting. I think our opponent is playing a, what's it called? It's less of a combo and more just, we're playing Insidious Roots. Insidious Roots can, with the red, so that you can play Voldaren Epicure. Or not Voldaren, Thrill Seeker. The one that flings things. Oh, there's the Insidious Roots. Would you look at that? We'll go ahead attacking with Gallon first. Inty? Inty? Smile. I do love me some Inty. Do we think the opponent's playing removal? And that deck is pretty heavy on the cards. Cards. You know what I mean. It's pretty heavy on doing its own thing and not playing much interaction.
Let's pound these metal monstrosities into dust. We're in this together.
Return a Rebel Melt. Get a token, and then they can exile the other one from the graveyard to put a counter on something and get another token and another counter. Put a counter on the Maverick. I never made a video on Insidious Roots, but I just feel like the deck is kind of fragile because it's very roots centric, you know? We just need to kill Tyvar. That's my take. Counter on this. Attack here. We can just send the gnomes. We're gonna make 3 gnomes. We can send 3 at his Tyvar. All the gnomes. Oh, Samut is so great with an Anim Pakal because you just draw a card for every single gnome that connects that was made. I love that interaction. Don't want to kill the Horde Master because, or sorry, not the Horde Master, the Maverick, because then they get another thing in their graveyard to trigger Insidious Roots. Gotta be a little strategic about these things. Did we run out Samut? I think we run out Samut and Hajar. You're kidding me. Double Tyvar. Please do not just like pseudo combo off right now. That'd be upsetting. They can kill Halana and Alena with Blood Tithe. And then they can get it back. Oh, wait, what? Oh yeah, 2. My bad. It's 3 toughness. But they can get it back and then actually kill it
Not finished yet.
by using it again. Actually, they could have killed a Anim Pakal, which seems like the better idea, but I don't write the rules. We do have enough for double red for Hajar and Samut because we have Souls, Cavern of Souls, and Plaza of Heroes. Gotta get rid of this Tyvar. They can activate a blood token. Oh, we're just gonna do that. Okay. We could play Agrus Kos. but I'm not inclined to. Samut. I'm gonna play Hajar, I think, is definitely one of the cards I think I want to play. Protecting the board seems really good, though. Agrus Kos could be pretty good here as well. Alright. Just send it. Just gonna do the same thing I was thinking about the entire time. They can't kill Summit with their current board setup. So we can just go ahead and swing in. Might hold back a gnome or two. Just so that if they make these plants absolutely gigantic. Actually, swing Samut there. And Anim Pakal there, maybe. And then we can put, you know what, we have, how many do I need to swing? 2 blockers, so I need to swing 3 there to kill it. That works. And then we'll make the rest of the gnomes attacking their face. So we can hopefully draw some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, my bad. No, I kind of wish I swung face with Samut. Now that I think about it, that would probably been good. I can't kill it because the first strike means it'll hit the plant first. Keep the plants dead to be that way they don't have like infinite mana. And draw 4 cards.
This was an unlikely outcome.
I love Samut. Not bad. Samut with a Anim Pakal. We did a Naya like Anim Pakal Samut roaming throne deck, but I feel like Annie joins up is better than roaming throne. It's just better roaming throne because it's removal too, and it can't be removed as easily. Opponent goes first. This hand is so slow. We have a Anim Pakal into Annie joins up into Jeru and Hazret. We have tap land on 1. And then, you know what? Maybe we'll draw 2 drop. And of course, it's mono red. The hand that I'm like, it's kind of slow. It's against mono red. Very awkward. I don't think a Anim Pakal is gonna live. This is a good example of why Animus Might is kind of bad. For when you don't have creatures. Because if this was an Animus Might and it was Elspeth's Smite, I could kill that mono before it hit face. Alright. Just need to live one more turn. Please, mono red. Show mercy. Nope. Godric. Thanks. Because Godric can get big, going to get rid of it with Annie joins up. I wonder if you reanimated Annie joins up with the Boiler's Awakening, if it would do 5 damage twice. I would think so. I don't think we have much of an option here besides Legend Ruling. Doesn't really matter which one I keep. I get to draw a card, which is bad, but could have held up the Iganjo instead. That could have been an alternative. Next turn we can play Jeru and Hazaret, and then Animus might, but if they have any like hasters these following 2 turns, we're kind of SOL. Top is not a good thing to see. Okay, do I just hold up everything? Feels weird. 'Cause if I run this out, like, do I play an Iganjo or do we just hold up Iganjo? I think we gotta hold up the Channel Lens as much as it pains me. I mean, we're gonna die to base burn if that's what they drew. Oh my god, what the heck are you doing? You're supposed to be playing the prowess deck. No, I'm joking. My goodness. Unfortunate. Okay. Bristly Bill. I kind of like that. I like seeing a Bristly Bill. I love the art for the card. It's cool. Don't tell me you're playing Temur and you just like play a land, cut down, boom, gone. Oh, Christ. I didn't totally just play like a reclamation deck the other day. I was just testing, alright? Wasn't anything sinful. Maximum pain. Give it trample. Damn, I kind of wish I got the Anim Pakal. They must have a sweeper coming up. Probably should say the Jeru and Hazaret until post sweeper. Alright, sweeper is gone. Bristly Bill, he's a swole MFer, right? Don't trying to think of a funny joke. Still processing. Don't mess with a cactus or you're gonna get the thorns. Thinking of something along that lines, but mess with is not a very thematic, is it? Yo, can I get a land? Swole Bill. Go Bill. Bill Nye the Science Guy. You're dead. Okay, interesting. I don't understand the reclamation decks, the aftermath analyst decks. Okay. Sure. Just need to draw lands. There's 25 in the deck. There's 25 in the deck. It's fine. We have Inti, so we can discard things to find lands. So we can discard our second Bristly Bill. Or our second Inti. Bill Nye the Science. Sorry, I'm on something. Not a huge fan of Inti, so I'll discard the second one. Land? Nope. Cool thing with Inti though is if you do any of the channel ends, you get things. Oh god, no, please, opponent, I'm sorry. Don't be like a Reanimator deck or Selesnya control deck. I'm gonna be sad. Especially since I missed land. I do really love the Spinewoods Armadillo though. Do not sleep on the armadillo. It is a good card. It was a human, right? Human god. Human god. Indeed. Do we keep you? Yeah, we'll put you on that. And we'll see if we find anything after discarding this bill, because I don't think we need that many bills. Put it on Inti, because I'm less sold on Inti as a card. Whoops. Whoops, my bad. They could have a sweeper here, so I think I'm gonna go for the Animus Might while we have it. Have our creatures, and I'm not gonna play the Adeline because I'm scared. That is a card. What do we want to discard? Any joins up? Yeah, any joins up doesn't really kill Elish Norn, so get in there. It's another Inti. These Inti hits I've been almost entirely bad. Double Lush Portico. Nice. Is this gonna be like an Elish Norn ramp? Maybe this is the Legend VD. I think I saw a thumbnail. Let me quickly go to online and see if this is true. Green, white. Legend VD. Elish Norn Dinosaur Ramp. It was posted yesterday. Ah, great. I love me a good tapland. Probably should have discarded the tapland to try and find a non-tapland, but go crazy. I'm sorry, Jaren has red. Just so that our homie Adeline doesn't die. They have to double block it. We're almost there. Fuck. Alright, good game. Then they play one of these, draw 2 cards, make 2 mana, gain good gain. Oops. You are fun, aren't you? Okay. This hand looks... Oh my goodness, I'm gonna keep another crap hand. Whatever. It's fine. Everything's gonna be great. But yeah. So far we're 4 and 5 with the deck. Seems to track with the, actually, 4 and 5 with my tweaks or the, the original version. So the most... I'm 4 and 4, I think, with this. Because I think the one I lost was when I tried to add like 2 Luminarch Aspirants and take out Agrus Kos. That's kind of my fault, maybe. I don't think that really would have made that much of a difference. I think we're about to actually get stomped on by Mono White though. It's kind of scary. Human. He's not a human, but a very cool plant. I'm glad that there's like more plants in this set. I think plant is just such a cool like design space for creatures and stuff. Though I have to say this design isn't necessarily particularly inspired. A 2/2 that gives out +1 counters. Let's go. Crazy. I can't believe you've done this. Alright, Bill. You ready to get 50 with it? It's murder time. Bill ain't here to make no friends. Bill here to make enemies. Take that. That's a good case where the Animus Might is amazing. Alright, it's not a great situation to be in here. I'm just swinging with Samud. We get to draw a card. No blocks. Shouldn't have played that Cavern of Souls. It's fine. Everything is fine. Adeline, we can kill that with the Annie joins up. Which is pretty good for me. Oh wait, I can't kill it with the Annie joins up at the moment because I need a land onto the battlefield. Skrelv. Skrelv. Can Skrelv protect itself? No. But you can do it in response to the trigger opponent. Hold on. Just deep breaths. Wait until it hits the battlefield and I target something. Because you can avoid anything dying besides Skrelv. I completely misplayed into Skrelv, and they're about to misplay using Skrelv. Okay, whatever. You realize I can still get your... You could just wait. Blue? Huh? Yo, you smoking something? What the heck is going on? My opponent is... They're fried. They're fried in the head. It happens, I guess. No questions, alright? Classification, kind of annoying. This recruitment officer could take them home. Aw, man. We don't have one or fewer, so we can't give it haste. We, like, could Iganjo? We could give it haste and vigilance. Iganjo is colorless though, so we can get around the Skrelv at least. Oh my god. Ugh. Now we don't have... Oh wait, we couldn't have Iganjo'd anyways. I'm smoking it. Do this. Do this. Well, can't really make use of this Iganjo at the moment, so we're just gonna... Bristly Bill, not very useful next turn, to be honest. Just needed to not die this turn. Ah! They drew 2 Ossification, 2 Brutal Cathars. What kind of mono white deck runs Ossification? Apparently the one that's I'm playing against. That's how you give it protection. What is... Yeah, this opponent is on something. They're cooked. I do not get it. Yeah, Joe and Hazard sounds kind of nice. Don't really want to die. I could have attacked, but don't really want to die. Three Ossifications, 2 Brutal Cathars. Nah. Did I mention at the beginning of the match? I've completely spaced. You see, there's things that go on in my head, and I'm just terrible at the remembering, communicating all those good things. That definitely goes in. Do we go in with Kellen? Probably no. Maybe yes. So I'll try not to die. Oh, double triggers. Sick. Let's go. I would like a free Adeline, I think. Anim Pakal is cool, but free Adeline seems better. And a free Malira. Or Hajar. I think Hajar. Bonk. Okay. 2 free creatures. Let's go. You can see Jero and Hazret going wild. Actually crazy. Triggered. Okay. Oops, I almost said like good game or something. Alright, well that's gonna do it for today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. I think our last opponent there was on something. I don't think we should have won that last match. But I do think this deck's cool. But there's definitely something doesn't feel right about it. It just, I don't really like Inti. Inti's not, didn't really do it for me. I feel like our curve is too high, so trim like an Halana and Alena, trim like maybe an Agrus Kos. Probably could go down in an Anim Pakal. You don't really need to get legend roll yourself a bunch of times. I think 3 of any legendary is probably enough, even if it's super good. Yeah, so I think there's room for improvement, and I will probably try and revisit this or revisit some other legendary decks, and we can see how we do. Anyways, have a nice morning, evening, night, afternoon, wherever and whenever you're watching. Ciao.